The media used to have a duty to accurately report the news, but after years of bias in their coverage, their own audience is laughing in their face.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. No, I know. CNN makes a... I know
Is that supposed to be a laugh line?
It wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
The one time there's an honest, authentic laugh on that show, when there's not a sign yelling applause and laugh, is an unintended joke about the objectivity of CNN. It's easy to see why the joke's on them. Kamala Harris hasn't done an interview in 23 days since Joe Biden stepped aside. Instead of calling her a coward, the media is hailing her as a genius.
Kamala Harris is doing exactly what she needs to do. Everybody's, oh, she's got to talk to a reporter. She's got to talk to a reporter. Would you notice that she's already done like 19 impossible things in a row? She united the Democratic Party. She picked a VP that made everybody happy in the party. She's managed to actually get us on path to a convention that people are excited about. She's somehow gotten Biden out of the way without him hating her or anybody else. She is a political mastermind that's been underestimated her whole career.
She somehow got Biden out of the way? Now, granted, I think it was actually Nancy Pelosi who did that. But let's just all clarify. We're on the same page here. Yes, they shoved Joe Biden out of the way. But even the blindest squirrels in the media can find a nut sometimes. And here's CNN's morning show actually asking the Harris campaign why Kamala won't talk to them.
What's on the vice president's schedule today?
Well, she's traveling and talking to voters and getting her message out there to the American people, something that she's been doing from the very start of this campaign.
I was asking about today, and I don't think she's got any campaign events on the schedule today, does she?
Well, she and Governor Walz have been traveling across the country. They hit nearly every battleground state last week.
The reason I was asking about today is because it seems like she has time, if she wanted, to do an interview with a member of the media or do a news conference, correct? There does appear to be that time if she wanted.
Well, look, she has said on the campaign trail that she would be doing an interview at some point.
She could do an interview today, I would think, because she's not out there today.
Well, look, she's taking her message directly to voters.
She was just appalled. You see that? She couldn't believe she was getting that question. Meanwhile, Trump is everywhere, all over your screen. As I mentioned earlier, that's Bryson DeChambeau, Aiden Ross, hostile press conferences, hour-long podcasts, taking questions from the press. He's always in the lion's den. He's unscripted. He's unafraid. So when we see headlines like this, that Trump is actually the one who's hiding from the media, well, once again, we know it's a hoax. Because Trump is the candidate that's agreed to 3 debates, not Harris. Trump campaign senior advisor Danielle Alvarez joins me now. Danielle, great to have you on the program. Interestingly, Danielle, I had Alina Habba on the Will Cain show. It's a digital show that everybody can watch every day on YouTube and at foxnews.com. I had Alina on the show just the other day, and I asked her, how are you going to break through? How are you going to get your message out to the people when the entirety of the media complex is doing the job for Kamala, and she doesn't actually have to push her message? When is your moment to challenge her?
Well, President Trump is our best asset, and he's our best messenger, and he has a strong record, and he takes that directly to voters. I mean, you just stated yourself, he broke the internet when he did a podcast with Aiden Ross. He broke the internet when he did X Spaces with Elon Musk. Just today, he was doing local interviews all day. He travels the country, he speaks directly to voters, and he finds ways to bypass biased media and contrast his record with Kamala Harris, who, as you pointed out, 23 days since a coup against the sitting president of the United States, since ascending the throne, unable to answer for her failures over the last 3.5 years, unable to do a single event without a teleprompter. It's a disgrace.
It's scandalous. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. Absolutely. And I have not just full faith, I have the evidence that Donald Trump will take his message directly to the voters, as you just pointed out. But I don't have faith that the media will challenge Kamala Harris on what her policies will be, what's real and what's fake about her positions from the past. It's gonna be on you. It's gonna be on the campaign. It's gonna be on Donald Trump. So I guess I wonder, is the only opportunity right now the one single debate that we have in September for you to play the role? I would love to, by the way. She has an open invitation right here. but she's not going to accept my invitation. It looks like right now she's accepted one invitation from you for debate in September.
That's because she's afraid of President Trump and she's afraid to face her record of failure. President Trump delivered a knockout debate performance against Joe Biden, which allowed her again to have that coup to ascend the throne. She hasn't won a single vote, any support from a single Democrat voter. And you know what? We really do need to challenge the mainstream media. They allowed Joe Biden to pull the wool over their eyes. All of a sudden on that debate stage, they were alarmed. They couldn't believe that they had been duped. And they are now in bed honeymooning with Kamala Harris and allowing her to dupe them in the same way. And so I think President Trump is absolutely going to give an incredible debate performance. He's going to keep doing interviews. He's going to keep getting his message out there because the media may pretend that it's about one thing, but it's about what voters care about: the border, inflation, the economy, safety at home, safety abroad.
It's a great point. They've reverted to the exact same behavior they conducted with Joe Biden prior to that debate. They're doing the same exact thing now with Kamala Harris. All right, Danielle, we'll be waiting anxiously for that first debate, though. Thank you so much.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.